didn't go live. Oh, I guess we are.
Wow.
Okay, I think that got it.
What was that? It's like breaking news, isn't it?
It is.
We are
Wow.
breaking news.
So,
Wow.
so that's usually the little Silverline bumper there, which was created by our very own Curtis Fujita. It's there every time. We just don't normally see it because we're in Zoom, and that's something that Brett takes care of behind the scenes, or
Wow.
Tim on Wednesday nights. So we just don't see it, right? But yeah, it's there. It tells me, Pete, that you've never watched any of the replays.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, wow.
Pete's all like, wait a minute, you guys put this stuff online when we're done?
So yeah, welcome everybody to Silver Sunday. This is our first stream for 2021, and we are anxiously looking forward to a fun. I've already got a comment here. I got to figure out how to do this. A fun 21. So yeah, we are using StreamYard tonight because my son Brett, and I forgot to turn my light on. My son Brett is who usually does all the knobs and buttons behind the scenes, is in the middle of a competition. And so the last I saw, they were right on the cusp. They have 16 teams in PUBG, and they have to get 8 in order to advance into the next round. The last I saw them, they were at 9, but they were just 1 point away from 8. So they've got their games. They have a total of 6 games tonight. They had 6 games last night, which they finished 7th. So they didn't have a very good game to start off, which is kind of why they got knocked down to 10. So he's usually the one doing all that. So we're going to StreamYard tonight because it's something that I can kind of figure out. The other stuff is much more difficult for me. So, and we're already getting comments. Tommy says, "What's up, my peeps? Happy New Year." What's up, Tommy?
Right.
Phil Leon says, "Hey, peeps. What's up, Phil?" You know what? I didn't take it. Did y'all share it out?
I know.
Oh, right, yeah.
I have not taken a moment to share it out yet, so I'm going to.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, so it should be live. So go share it out.
There we go.
So we are live on Facebook, we are live on Twitch, and we are live on YouTube. For those of you who are listening on one of the platforms, and you say, "Well, I'd rather listen on the other platform," you have to mute it when I go there. You have your choice. So I'm sharing it out on Twitter. That's been tweeted. Gonna share it to Facebook's already there, and that's good there. So, all right. And how do I get to Facebook? Open this one up. We're live, and that's muted, thankfully. I know people are like, we don't want to watch you share stuff out. I know it, but I usually got someone doing this stuff for me. So, share now, public. Okay, so let me close this. Go back to StreamYard. Phil Leon says, StreamYard kicks butts for video production like this. Move over, Zoom. There's a new kid in town. Yeah, so one of the reasons I like the Zoom is because I get to just sit here and talk to you guys. And Brett is the one who does all that. He uses OBS and a Restream and all that kind of stuff. And that's far easier for me to do. This way I can focus on you guys. I'm actually going to step right over here a moment and turn my light on so that you actually can see me. But so some paperwork before we get into the stream tonight. So let's see if I can share this. I am happy to say that we're starting the year 2021 off with a sponsor. Hopefully we will. Hopefully we get more.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix up something for them. But Daytona Beach Comic Convention is now. I will say it. I will put words in their mouth. A proud sponsor of the Silverline weekly streams. Daytona Beach has become
Nice.
the sort of the home convention for Silverline. I've been there several years, and it's a fantastic show. Silverline made their first appearance as Silverline there
Florida.
last year. Yes, it's in Florida, Daytona Beach,
I
Florida.
was trying to figure it out, and it says it right there, Florida. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I said last year. That's actually not true. I mean 2018 is when we made our debut. We were going to be there again in 2019, but of course the plague canceled everything. And as you can see, if you can read there, the dates are yet to be announced for 2021. But I have talked to Tom, and he says he already has plans to get us back again because we had such a great time last time, and we looked good at the show. So I'm really excited about that. So we want to thank everyone, or we want to thank Tom and the Daytona Beach Comic Convention for being our sponsor. And all of you, if you are in the area, or if you just want a vacation to Florida, Daytona Beach is a great place to go. You know, they've got the Daytona Beach Speedway. They have Bike Week there. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Not very far from New Smyrna Beach, which I learned is the shark bite capital of the world.
Oh, that's great.
That's it.
Wait,
I
you didn't learn that by
Selling point.
experience, did you, Roll?
I learned that by taking my kids there.
Okay. I was like learning by experience. Like,
Yep.
Roland, are you
Yep.
missing a body part?
Nope. Nope. My son said, I saw a shark, and I went, yeah, I know you didn't. But yeah, I did. So yeah. So the other bit of exciting news, let's see if I can find it real quick, is this kind of just sort of happened on us. Whoops, that's not what I want. Here we go. Silverline is getting into Silverline Esports. What's happened is the Mud Dog Esports owner Matt Jacobs officially passed the torch over to Brett Mann in his announcement on Discord. Mud Dog Esports Discord has officially changed the name to Silverline Esports, and in fact, the team is competing yesterday and today under the official name of Silverline Esports.
Wow.
So
Cool.
if you guys, if you tuned in to the PUBG tournament going on right now, you would see a Silverline Esports team playing. So that's kind of exciting for us.
Yeah.
They've got the S logo and everything, and they worked on it. So it's pretty exciting. You know, we talked about it a little bit. I don't really know what all this means. I'm a comic guy, right? So I do know this. Part of what we got, we had talked about, Brett's been trying to push us towards Discord, because all kind of people are on Discord, right? So and I'm like, you guys know me. I'm like, let's anything that can promote us.
Yeah.
And so he had started one, and I think we had like 4 people on it or something like this. Well, by us getting and taking over the Mud Dog Esports Discord channel, we now have close to 200 people on. Now, granted, most of them are gamers, right? Most of them are there for gaming. But we're going to start sending out the invitations for the Discord. I want all you guys to get on there as well.
I have Discord.
I'm on it.
I have the Discord. Yes.
The Discord,
Yes, I have Discord.
The Discord.
Pete, you sound,
Is that on
you
the
sound
internet,
50.
Peter?
I have the Discord.
I have a
the
Discord account. I have an
Good.
account.
So
I
we
got
we get all of you guys on there, and I think it's just it's just another social media way in order to try to get in contact, stay in contact with fans and supporters and the like. Brett set it up, and each comic book has its own little channel. And so just get in there and play. He's made up labels. Everybody who comes in, all you guys are going to be, we're all going to be Silverliners, right? So and then we've got
Right.
comic
A new
fans.
role.
And what's that? Yeah, your role would be Silverliners. So it's pretty exciting. We'll you know what? Again, I don't really know how all it's going to work, but we're just going to roll with it and see how it goes. But it's pretty exciting. So
Okay.
Right on.
yep. So we'll just
Have
keep
him
on
send
happening.
out. Have him send out an invite.
Yep, we absolutely will. In fact, if you, for those of you who are listening and saying, hey, I want to be part of it, if you will go, because we put a link on the latest website post, silverlinecomics.com. So I should get that up there, shouldn't I?
Yeah, put the link up.
Banners. There we go. We'll cover Pete up just a little bit. It's
Oh.
okay.
That's okay.
So if you'll scroll down there, it said 2021, we finally made it out of 2020. If you will scroll down to where it says Discord, you will see a link there that says, here is your invite to join our Discord server. Anybody can click on that link and you can join our Discord server. So please join it, help us build it. We'll be handing out, I'm sure we're going to be handing out moderator wrenches for those folks who can help us, keep it moderated. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. Let me get back to the chat.
So is it
here,
like a messaging center? I think I used Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I use Discord, sometime back just to like connect with my squad. Right, we got on and we played games, and that's the way we kind of all hooked up. But now it's kind of turned into something more than that. It's you can still do that, but you can have different rooms.
If you have your channel, and then within your channel you can have like separate categories. So if you want to talk about comics, you go to this category.
Right.
Games, this category. Cats. You can have it when you post pets. A pets category. Post the latest picture of your
I
pet.
could just go in and leave a comment off anything comic
Mm-hmm.
related or whatever. Okay, all right.
I think we should drop our live links there too.
We will. We absolutely will. Brett's going to set it up. So actually, he's going to set it up so when we go live, it will actually stream to Discord as well.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how that works.
No.
Brett's gonna be working to set. This is part of his function as to what he does. So
you can do that with Twitch also.
Right. Yeah. So and we should be streaming to Twitch right now as well. So there's just lots of stuff. I haven't had the chance to send you guys the email that I want to send you, but I got some ideas of things that I want to do for our channel this year. And I think based on some of the chatter I saw going on in our Team Silverline, I think this may be the right time to do it. So, but anyway, Quentin in the Silverline house. What's up, Quentin? Boom! Happy New Year!
Hello.
Happy New Year, Quentin.
Tommy says people talk about cats.
Not in this channel. No.
Yeah, Tommy talks about dogs. So Phil says I'm back. I had a couple weeks of downtime getting my computer discombobulated and data retrieved, and am now back up and running. So some new pages soon. Fantastic, Phil. Glad to hear that. For those of you who don't recognize the name, Phil is coloring Ari Jones and Ari Jones's White Devil. So and Jackson Rennick is the penciler for that. So Eric Dotson said, "Hey y'all, ready for some Silverline fun in 2021?" I know I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Good.
Yes.
So tonight's topic is just kind of a loosey-goosey one. I got my shirt on today because not because we're streaming, but because I was working on the video for the Kickstarter that's going to launch on Thursday.
Wow.
I have been thinking. What do you? I get you guys get your thoughts. So we've got it slated to start Thursday, but what if we just launched it live during let the Wednesday crew launch it live? What do you guys think?
That's fine.
I've actually seen that be pretty. I've
Okay.
actually seen people do that. Do like turn into a launch party, and
Yeah.
they've
Yeah,
been pretty
a party,
successful
a
with
launch
it.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll do that then. Since instead of Thursday, I was just going to launch it. Set my alarm and get up and launch it Thursday morning. But I think based on the reaction from you guys, I think let's do it. Let's do it Wednesday, and let's do it during the Wednesday stream. Call a launch party.
Make it a launch party.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. So let's talk about what did we do over COVID Christmas. Let's talk about. This is Silverline. Let's talk about some highlights. Obviously, we had challenges and stuff, but it's still Christmas. It's still the New Year. We're still we're still here making comics. So
That's right.
Somebody
you.
jump in.
I'll show you, Roland.
Cool.
I've done all this over Christmas.
Woo.
This is issue 2 of what am I drawing?
Wait. Let me figure out how to make you large here, Pete.
Yeah,
This is
wrong
just-
person.
Come on, we got to make Pete large and in charge. Come on. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so this is what I've been doing issue. It's not just blank paper, sorry. It's just like blank paper, but issue 2 of Silverline team up champion of Miss Fury, which
Wow. Can't wait to see it.
and we've done the cover for Switchblade.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gorgeous
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And we got the cover for Team Beetle.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Wow.
That's
So
great.
Pete, that looks
And-
like a
and
healthy
on-
chunk of pages there.
Yeah,
and
so
I have the
He's
inks.
been busy.
yes, you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're flying with. It's just the roughs.
I
I'm
have
gonna
the
get all
inks for that.
I was gonna get all the roughs.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
look
is
at
that
that.
the cover?
Wait.
That's good, isn't it? Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
So what
I almost look
so
good.
I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, but the Team Beetle thing, I haven't even heard of that.
Well, because it
Catch-up.
happened pretty quick.
That is cool.
It's the story
Sneak attack.
behind that is right. So John Crowther's the guy who created it, and he's John Crowther. If you know him at all, he's the guy who does all these wrestling books. He does wrestling books like crazy, right? I mean, and they do. I'll be honest with you, and I know John may listen to this, so I'm risking this. I don't know the first thing about any of these wrestlers, right? I know that I'm from the South and I'm supposed to know them all. I don't know the first thing about any of them. You know, they're just all big wrestling dudes to me. But he'll get into talking. You know this, you know that, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea who you're talking about.
So is that why on your like little Southern membership card it says void?
Revoked.
Revoked.
yeah. But John's a local guy, really nice guy. We do a lot of the same shows together, and we've been talking one thing here and there and that kind of thing. And he's working with Del Barris. You guys know Del Barris, right? I mean, long time industry dude. And he's like, hey man, I've got this project. He said Del Barris is going to do it. And of course, you guys have been with Silverline long enough. I said, John, I can't pay that, dude. It's like, he said, no, I already got the pages. He said, Dell's already done it. He goes, I've got that taken care of. He goes, I need a publisher. I'm like, you have the whole book done? He's like,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
And I'm like, why don't you show it to me? Right? I was like, so he sent me a link to or a PDF or something like that, and I'm like, holy crap, you got the whole book done already, right? And I think it was 24 pages, and I said, all right, John, let's do this. I said, this is kind of my test, kind of like, oh, if he's willing to do this, then he's looking for a home. I'm like, because the issue ended, right? And I'm like, you've got it. It's potential. We can have a cliffhanger, and we can. I said, but you're gonna. What was that?
I don't know.
Wasn't me. So, but you're gonna need. I said, what we need to do is we're gonna need to delete the last 3 pages and then add a new page 22, and that'll end with a cliffhanger. He goes, oh, I'll have it to you next week. I was like, what? He's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, we'll do 3 issues, and we can collect it into a trade. And I'm like, yeah, okay, right. And so this was back around probably November, and because we had just we were supposed to run a Kickstarter in November, but the books that we had slated they weren't finished, and so
Things were going on.
Kickstarter. Yeah, things were. I mean, I'm not mad at all. It's just.
And the holidays aren't really good for kickstarting anyway.
No. And the thing about it is, again, I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. We just didn't have the book, so I'm like, you know what? I'll take a breather and we'll go do some stuff. When I say we'll go do some stuff, make some comics and do some work and that kind of thing. And when he popped up, I said, this could be the perfect thing. Then we could get Teen Beetle, and then we can do Switchblade, which has been ready for several months now.
Yeah.
And Curtis has been working on the whole remix thing. So I said, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because we don't have the books that I wanted for January weren't quite finished. They're this close, right? If you could see me, they're this close, right? They're this close. But you guys know I don't want to kickstart something if they're not finished, because way too many things can happen.
Yeah.
It's life. It's just life. Way too many things can happen. So so John had that, and I'm like, okay, well, it's Kickstarter. I know some artists who would love to contribute covers for that. So I hollered at Pete. Hey, Pete. What's up?
I need a cover tomorrow. Okay, I want it.
I hollered at Lubba.
Yeah, that same message.
Yeah.
Let's that right out.
So anyway, yeah, that's kind of how the Teen Beetle happened. And so part of the cool thing about Teen Beetle now is that Blue Beetle is public domain. right?
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, Blue Beetle is public domain. Now you can't use the Blue Beetle logo that DC uses, right? Because they own that logo, right? And they own the words. But and also there's some particulars, right? I think it's the Dan Garrett Blue Beetle specifically, and a lot of this public domain stuff gets really specific. But yeah, Blue Beetle is public domain. But what's happened is Teen Beetle takes the serum from the public domain Dan Garrett Blue Beetle takes, and this is how we get Teen Beetle.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's not the same guy.
No, it is not the same guy. No.
But it's a victim
So.
of the potion.
So yeah. So
Ted.
Is Ted Cord? Is that what? it is?
Ted
Yeah.
Cord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Was
So.
Beetle.
Are you guys going to do another flip book?
Yes.
For the,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, another flip book. Yeah, these so the only reason we did not do Trump's as a flip book because Trump's was 48 pages,
Yeah.
and Cat and Mouse was 24. And I asked Tommy about it. And he goes, we in order to do that, we got to square bind that because it's too thick. Right?
It's
It's just
really big.
way too many pages, and so we couldn't actually do a flip book with that. But yeah, we're going to do a flip book again. So you'll get Teen Beetle on one side and Switchblade remix on the other.
Cool.
So that's how the Teen Beetle thing came along, Aaron. And I do apologize because up until, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago, I was pretty good about doing a little in-house newsletter.
Yeah.
Which only about half of the people read, but and I know this because MailChimp, and now it doesn't tell me who, I don't think. If it does, I got to go back and look. But it'll tell me, it's like, like 35 people got this, and 17 people clicked on it, and 13 people read it or something like that, right? So it'll give me numbers like that.
He's watching me, so now he knows I had to delete all the rolling emails.
Well, I read it, so there.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
yeah.
read it.
So, but I've been negligent in sending out an in-house here in the last couple months. I've got one about half written, but
It was a cool surprise because I was
Yeah.
on Facebook and I was like, "What's this?"
yeah.
cool.
I got got some other cool stuff I can't really talk about yet. Got some other cool stuff that's at this point in time they're just phone calls. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's some other cool things, other cool phone conversations happening. I tell you guys, we're making some noise. I think people are saying, "Hey, what's going on over there at this Silverline? What's this Silverline stuff? You guys are doing an awesome job, and people are beginning to take notice. I think so.
That's awesome.
Now let's just
Good
hope that
work.
translates into Kickstarter dollars.
Yeah.
I have had more people say, my wife can't wait till you put out the next issue of Divinity. I'm going, whoa!
Oh,
so
that's wonderful.
they're buying the books and then their wives are reading them.
Listen, I had a guy, and I won't tell his name because he just pulled me. I don't know that he would mind, but he pulled me aside at a recent convention, one of these small ones. He said, "Yeah, I got to tell you." He goes, "I really like Divinity." He goes, "That's really good. That's probably one of the best independent comics I have read in a long time."
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
Excellent.
"That's very cool." I said, "Well, you'll be happy to know we're almost done with number 2." So he said, "I am very excited to hear that." So,
Wow.
so yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, absolutely. So, and so Barb, you're coloring what page?
I'm on like page 9 now.
Page 9. So
Yeah.
roughly 1/3 of the way done.
Yes.
Yep,
And so I'm doing about 2 to 3 pages a week at the moment.
Yeah. So so yeah, we're progressing right along, and that's exciting. But yeah, Teen Beetle, that's the story of Teen Beetle and all that other kind of stuff. So I anticipate. Well, you know what? I won't talk about that. We got to get through this first one, and then we'll see what will be the next Kickstarter. I have a good idea what the next one will be already. But let's get back to Christmas.
Yes.
Pete did all kinds
Yeah.
of penciling. You
I
stayed
did
busy.
penciling.
Did Santa Claus bring you anything, Pete?
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Now where do I start?
Oh, jeez.
I know.
I'll start with my new slippers.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
And because it's a comic show, let me get my comics. Oh, I can't reach them, but I've got some cool new action figures.
Nice.
So what we got? We got Swamp Thing.
Oh, cool.
I got two of those Swamp Things actually.
Nice.
And I think this is Man Ape, first appearance of Man Ape. I think it's the last appearance of
I
Man
love
Ape.
that issue.
And lastly, we got a Thor, a Journey to Mystery Thor.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, I got spoiled this year again.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, got some cool action figures and some grown-up stuff.
Socks and underwear and that kind of stuff.
Clothes, new wardrobe every Christmas.
So, did your wife get her shoes?
I was thinking that. I'm glad you asked it.
She got some shoes.
Some shoes. Multiple shoes are better than one pair of shoes.
She
There
didn't
you
get
go.
the very expensive shoes. No, that wasn't. No.
Yeah, when you told me the price tag on those shoes, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cheap ones as well. So no, she didn't get those shoes. She was okay with it. She said that's fine.
Yep,
I
good.
also got the wrong size in the shoes I did buy, so we got to take them back. But because we're in lockdown now for a long time,
That's not possible.
We can't do that. Yeah. So she did well.
Yeah, so Santa Claus was good to her. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did great.
So how does that work then? If with your on lockdown, how are you going to take these? Do we just use the postal service?
No, you can't take them back. You just have to wait until the shop's open again in whenever March.
So I have to ask because I know here you have the receipts and you have, I don't know why I'm still full on you. You're not showing anything.
Yeah, thanks.
Here, you have to have the receipt that shows the date, and you only have like 30 days, 45 days.
Yeah,
like
I think that's usually the case. But if they try and pull that one, well, you weren't open. So what do you want me to do? Yeah,
just count the number of days that you were open, right?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I don't think they would, though. I mean, I could see them losing a ton of customers if they tried to pull that.
One would think, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so that was it. That and a lockdown, and I'm in isolation at the moment because one of the kids I teach in last week had COVID.
Oh dear.
So I've got 10 days of staying home.
Oh my gosh.
Which is fine because it just means I'm getting paid for that home and draw. So cool.
So throw stuff at you, right? Yes. Yeah, and you're still taking commissions, right?
Yes, I'm just finishing off one at the moment.
So for those of you listening, throw commissions at Pete right now. Now is a good time. Yeah. Now,
I don't know what your postal service is like. I get the feeling your postal service over there is shot to pieces.
It's not.
Not great.
It's not
it
doing
might
really
take a
well
while
right
to
now.
arrive, but it'll get there.
Well,
Amazon does okay.
Amazon does great. FedEx does great. All the other non-government delivery services are doing great.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Amazon, you can order something and it's there at the end of the day, and you're like, how the heck did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good for that.
Now they might throw them from the sidewalk right as they drive by, just throw it.
Right.
But you'll
I
get
was
it.
amazed that I talked to somebody who worked at an Amazon warehouse. She's like, yeah, it's like 6 blocks long. I'm like, 6 blocks?
Yeah,
Ouch.
they are.
Like, I
huge.
didn't realize how, I mean, it makes sense that I was like, this place is enormous.
Yeah.
It's like a little city. They're like, so yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
One day it will just
You
be
hope the
Amazon
plague gets
City.
anywhere.
Yeah.
You're right. That's kind of scary. Oh, there's a story in that, isn't there? Let me write that down. Amazon City.
So we could live there if the plague gets any worse, right?
Yeah.
Pete, I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Mega Bezos one. Yes.
And if it's too personal, just say move along. Just use your Jedi mind trick, right?
I'll just log off.
Did I?
I know.
Did I blame it on the computer then, right? Did I hear you say fiance?
Yeah, we've been over this, Roland.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
done
didn't
this.
he just
Oh, you don't know.
posted a didn't you just post a Facebook post about your anniversary?
No, it's her birthday.
No, her birthday.
She had a
Yeah.
wonderful birthday in lockdown.
Oh, that's
We can't go anywhere, do anything. So yeah.
Oh, so then if I ask for a date, you don't have a date yet. Okay, all right, I got you. All right.
Good thing too, because we couldn't get married anytime soon anyway.
A non-lockdown date.
Yeah.
My daughter was scheduled to sing at somebody's wedding out in L.A. And yeah, well, this was early December.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Did we already talk about that? It got canceled.
I think
and she didn't go.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last I heard, she was looking to go, but you weren't sure if she could.
Right. Well, yeah, that's right. Because we were concerned that they were going to put her in a because I think California was looking at it at the time. They were going to put her in like a 2-week detention
quarantine, and then she would have missed the wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they ended up calling off the wedding. Excuse me. They ended up they called off the ceremony. But they went to, I guess they went to the Justice of the Peace and went ahead and got married anyway.
Yeah, that's what you can do.
My daughter got engaged in the middle of the summer, and they're scheduling in 2022 just on the off chance that all of this is over by then.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly hope so.
So Christopher Cancel says, congratulations on your Kickstarters. Very proud of you guys. I'm excited for my booth next year. Hope to make great achievement. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Christopher. And we hope you do well, too. And we've said it on here multiple times before. I really do think that this is a great time for independent comics.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation, I get. But if you've known me for any length of time at all, I'm the eternal optimist. So you always got to be looking for the good stuff, right? I mean, this is a fantastic time to be doing independent comics. Kasisi, what's up, Kasisi? He says, how does one request permissions from Peter? Is there a preferred contact method? Pete, how do you prefer folks holler at you?
Just address an envelope to Peter in London, and it will find its way to me.
Yeah, right.
No, just in Instagram or I don't know if my email pops up at the end of this.
What happened to the carrier pigeons, Peter?
COVID lockdown.
COVID lockdown.
Yeah,
the pigeons are dropping out of the air. Sorry.
Yeah, I see that, Kasisi. You did say permissions. I think I said commissions, though, didn't I? Kasisi, I'm going to make sure all the information is here in the info. It's not there right now, but at the end of the show, I'll go and fill that in. If you don't see it, Kasisi, I know Kasisi, so if you don't see it there, holler at me, and I'll make sure that I get you in touch with Pete.
Instagram.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, Pete's on fire right now, so you might as well strike. Both Pete and Wubba did fantastic Switchblade covers. Like, man,
I haven't seen Wubba's cover. Where's Wubba's cover?
I haven't seen
Well.
So we haven't got it colored yet. So I was kind of waiting for the colored version. Let me see if I can find.
You brought it up, Roland.
Yes.
You can't bring up stuff like that and then just be like, "Oh well, no, it's gone."
Not for you.
Sorry.
Not really ready.
So let me. I guess I.
Well, Wubba's sat there like no one's giving me my cover.
I know.
All right, let's see here. Let me toss these up.
I've seen the inks. I'm good.
Yeah. No, the inks are good. Let's see. Share screen. Share window.
Who's inking Wubba stuff? Is Tommy inking it or?
I don't know who inked my cover for Switchblade.
Hang on. I can't talk and click buttons at the same time.
But we can.
Yes, I know. Okay. So that's the Pete cover for Switchblade.
Cool.
Inked by and I don't know if I'm going to say his name correctly, but inked by AJ Cassetta.
Yeah.
And colored by Nick Capone.
Yep.
So it's funny. I realized after naming the files, this is done by the C team. Clinton Cassetta Capone.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I try to do in my file naming practices is I try to label the cover and then put the last name of the penciler, then the last name of the inker, then the last name of the colorist. That way I don't forget. I have a terrible memory that way. And then this is the Wubba cover.
Oh, nice.
That's also inked by AJ.
Cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
and I think not 100% sure yet. I need verification, but I think that Nick is going to color this one also.
he's good.
Yeah. So, speaking of Nick, AJ saw. It's funny because AJ actually. So Pete recruited. So long story short, here's how recruiting works, right? So Pete recruited Nick for the cover. AJ saw it, says, I know Nick. I want him to color my book. So he reaches out he asked me, you got anybody lined up yet? I said, not yet. And he says, well, I want to get Nick. I said, well, okay, I'll reach out to him. Well, before I could even reach out to Nick, AJ emails me back. He said, he's on board. I'm like,
oddly enough, we're all on a Discord chat together.
Oh, there you go. so there's this conversation taking place that I didn't even realize. So, yeah, I'm really excited. Both of these are nice looking covers. Kasisi says, "Thank you, awesome cover. I love the color. A nice cover, Wubba." I agree, Kasisi.
The Switchblade logo. Because I remember the older logo. The logo for Switchblade is that a new?
It is a new one. Yes.
I like that one.
Yes, thank you.
I'm trying to remember the old one because I thought that I was like that looks kind of
Yeah. So part of the reason, so Leonard Kirk designed the old one, right? And you guys know me. I like to make the artist happy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really like it, but Leonard loved it. The problem, and I don't. Well, let's see if I got one right here. I think I've got an old Switchblade here at my feet. So the problem I had with it, I'm going to show you. I'll stop sharing here. How do I go solo here? Solo layout. So this is the first issue, the old one, right?
Yeah, it looks like Witchblade.
Yes, it does, and that's why I can't stand it. Yeah. People would walk up to me and say, "Oh, Witchblade," and they would go, "I thought Witchblade was a girl," and I'm like, "Well, Witchblade is a girl. This is Switchblade." And yeah, I can't count the number of times I had to do that. And so I did not like this. So the first opportunity I had to redo this logo, I'm like, I'm going to redo this. So, Brad Tomte, the guy who does most of our logo work for us, he's the guy who redesigned this. And I like it quite a bit. Very easy to read. Got a blade behind it, so it still incorporates kind of the knives, which is what Leonard Kirk was trying to do. But he instead of a switchblade, he had some kind of Swiss knife that had blades on both sides. I don't know what it was. So, Christopher Cancel says, try working a 590-page series. That's what I've done this whole time, writing, editing. Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a lot of pages. And then he says, awesome work, especially the inking. So, thanks, Christopher. AJ joins the Wednesday stream some. We got to get him on more regular, though. We got a couple of shy ones who we got to get on a little more regular. So, and I know Mike Belcher generally joins us. Mike's I should pop Mike's cover up too. Mike's got a nifty cover that he did. What did I do with my screen now? Let's see here. There we go. And how do I get my stream back? Okay. Mike did a nifty cover that will be our exclusive.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys know Mike's Man in the Mask.
Yeah.
And so he did this, and it's really nice. So, yeah, I'm excited. I didn't mean to turn this into a show-off Switchblade here. But the Kickstarter is coming, so this is a great time for it.
That's right.
Yeah. And this, of course, was colored by his son Aiden, who did all the colors for the interiors for the remix. So
nice.
Yeah. So some exciting stuff going on. Quentin Bedwell says super good. Thank you, Quentin.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So Santa Claus. Who else? Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, Barb.
We had a very relaxed and laid back Christmas because of COVID. So we did everything Zoom. We ran around and dropped stuff off on the kids' porches, and we're pretty much gonna self-isolate until we get the vaccines because we're both retired and we can do that. And that means I pay attention to doing my comic book work instead of running around, right?
Yeah.
So
that's 2 more pages. More pages.
That's right.
More pages.
Because I'm not going out, so I gotta get my work done. I got this beautiful backdrop for my closet that I usually have everything hanging out of when we do these podcasts. I got a new MacBook Air with the M1 chip in it.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
I would be
nice.
posting on Facebook, the transitioning from your old laptop.
Yeah. All I had to do was push a button on both my old laptop, which is 11 years old, and my new one, and it just automatically, like, wirelessly transferred everything, including my bookmarks, everything, every folder, everything.
Yeah, I read somebody. I talked to a friend who had that with her phone. She bought a new phone, and then it was like it just immediately transferred everything over.
Yep, it's awesome. And since
that's almost not right because my computer's my battery is, you can't see it obviously, but the battery is swelling in this Mac. It's the second time this has happened to my Mac, and so because it's my work computer, I had to take it in. And you know what they do, don't you? They just tell me save anything you need, and then they take my computer and just hand me a blank one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like I don't get any of the bookmarks. None of that. I got to re-download all the software that I need. You know, I mean, I get the code, so I don't have to pay for it. But
every single thing that I had on my old Mac is now on my new Mac, and it took a 2-hour download while they talked to each other. And I was working on my iPad and it was all done. It was so simple. I love it. And I have an iPhone and an iPad, and they all talk together and they share photos and they talk to my car. So like I love it. I love technology.
They're not like plotting against you, Barbara. I mean, they're talking with each other.
I wouldn't doubt. Yes.
All of a sudden, she's like, "Wait, what was that?"
They probably They probably talk to Thomas Formonti's computers too.
Yeah.
Did you see the shade he was throwing at her for the Macs?
I did see that. I did. What is it? What is it? The network that takes over the world. What is that?
Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah. I have a little miniature Skynet in my house here. Yeah. I also, and since I've been trying to teach myself colors so I can broaden my horizons outside of inking, I got a book on color.
Wait. Hold on. I'm going to go solo with you here.
All right, I got this one.
Oh,
that's good.
Yeah,
looks like a Campbell cover.
It is. It is. Cool. Lots of good things in there.
Nice.
Oh, that's great.
And since I'm using Procreate, I also got the Procreate.
Good deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm learning as I go. I literally, and that's like everything else I've ever done in my life. I just say I'm going to do this, and I just hit the ground running, and learn as I go. I did that with inking. I did that with accounting, and doing it with coloring. I just teach myself as I lie.
And you can always just message us too. Just message the coloring group and go, "Hey guys."
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Really easy. Yeah, I mean, I'll say, can you do this? Yeah, you bet I can. Oh my God, I got to figure it out now. That's how I've done everything.
Quentin says Apple is great until it breaks.
Yeah.
And then he says he has that book. I'm not sure which book he has, but he says it's awesome. And he says Hi-Fi is awesome. It used to come with a DVD.
I remember that.
So.
Except my new one doesn't have a DVD. That's the only thing I don't like about the new Mac is my old Mac had a DVD player. But he said Apple always breaks, but I had that Apple for 11 years and it's still chugging along. It's just the battery doesn't work anymore. I have to keep it plugged in all the time.
Yeah.
And it's getting very slow, but it still works.
And I think mine would be fine if they would change the battery. I think that's why it's swelling, because the battery is just getting old and swelling. And if they would just change the battery, I think my computer works fine otherwise,
Put that battery on a diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Christmas time after all, right?
Yeah.
So
that was mine.
Well, I can go next.
Oh yeah, you know what? Someone just reminded me. We're so out of practice. I didn't even have us introduce ourselves.
Oh.
And the person who reminded me is too shy to say it aloud, so I get a private message, right? Hey, we need to introduce ourselves.
That's got to be Curtis.
So let's start with Curtis.
Oh, moi?
Tell everybody who you are.
Okay, I was just doing this so I could introduce myself. I didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
Curtis is like, can you make me full screen white and introduce myself? You know?
I just for 2021, I want to be more dramatic, so I'm just going to be like, oh, hi there. I'm the creative director at Silverline. I'm the creator of the comic book Shadow Ghost for Silverline. Next person.
All right. The next person is. I wonder if I can just. Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Barb. I accidentally briefly removed Barb. Okay, Barb, you're next.
Hi, I'm Barb. I'm Barb Kelberg, and I've been an inker for over 30 years. And currently, I am an inker for Silverline, and I'm also the CEO for Silverline. CFO. Sorry, CFO. Okay. CFO for Silverline. I ink Cat and Mouse, and I am the creator, the co-writer, the inker, and the colorist on Divinity. And I'm coloring Sirens. And I think that's everything. And I do spottings for various things.
Yeah,
but that's
keep all of our books straight.
I'm trying.
But we're not making it very easy, are we?
We'll talk later.
Okay. All right, Wubba, you're next. Oh, okay, I figured that out. That was easy.
Yeah. So I'm Wubba, and I am the penciler in the upcoming Cat and Mouse miniseries.
And you've got a slick new signature too.
Yeah, he does. I thought I'd be less of a hobbit. Start branding myself and being out there. Accepting commissions now.
Excellent, cool.
I never did that before, so I am accepting commissions.
You should.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. Well, make sure you get me that information so I can add it to the all the stuff I put at the end of the streams, or the beginning, or the text that's on there, the info about it. So that we make sure we promote you like that and get you some commissions. Very cool. Now your signature, that was do you have one you can hold up and show us, the new sig?
I do not.
Oh.
But all it is you guys actually gave me the idea for it.
We did?
Every time because every time I come on, you're like, Wubba! So I was writing it out with the exclamation point, like I have on screen here. And then I thought, well, I'm from Wisconsin. So I just W-I, and the I's reversed to be an exclamation point.
Yay!
Oh,
Wisconsin.
Cool. So a little representing my home state, too.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We only live about 45 minutes from each other.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, maybe once the plague is over, you guys can do a convention together. And
yes, that'd be
represent.
Nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Someday when the plague is over.
I said when the plague is over. Yeah.
Yes.
If we could get a sponsor convention and have like me and Barb and John and everybody, all the Midwest gang, all
I would so be over that. And actually, BJ and I talked a little bit about that today. And of course, one of our frustrations is the plague. So it's like anyway. Oven says hello, Silverline family.
Hello.
Hello, Oven.
Oven, what up? Oven, I slipped on my. You can't see me. You're looking at Aaron, who's, if he would mouth, it might look like he's the one doing the speaking. But
that'd be funny to do that.
I would, but I never know what's going to come out of your mouth.
Shade.
So Oven, I slipped on my duties early, and we forgot to make introductions. So we're just now getting around to introductions. So Aaron,
I'm with the full screen. I am the penciler on Fire Rush, which you have done, and I am currently working on my own comic, and I am actually on page 10 of issue 10, which is kind of weird. So I'm close to halfway done. So I'm like so close I can taste it. It's getting there. And so that's what I've been doing. That's what I did over winter break, Christmas break.
Nice. So you are a half a book. You're 2.5 books away from finishing God.
Finishing it, and then that is all 12 issues are in the can and done. And that is a one-shot story. I don't plan on making any sequels to it.
Gotcha.
So
and may I tell that there are cool. So Aaron has opened up talks.
What?
Yes. He has opened up talks about another future project with Silverline. So
yes,
yes, very very excited about that. We'll have to figure out what it is and keep Aaron happy and keep him drawing.
Just keep me working until I just pass out with a pencil in my hand.
So you guys all know Stephen Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen's a good friend of mine. I talked to him. He was my roommate in college, and he went on, of course, to do Spider-Man and Silver Sable and Badger and Sonic, and we talk regularly. And Steve Lytle died the other day, and
that was heartbreaking.
Yeah, and we were just talking about some of this kind of thing. This artist worked until he died, and this artist worked until he died, and it's one of the things we're talking is that comic folks tend to do that on a whole. Not. I mean, I know there are exceptions because sometimes health and other things get it, but on a whole, comic people have a tendency to work until they die. You don't often hear of a comic person retiring and going to live into the hills of Montana and never drawing again.
Yeah, very rarely.
Very rarely. Now George Perez retired, but a lot of his was health related. He can't see anymore. He literally just his vision makes.
He's got to be in
his
close to his 70s by now, isn't he?
I think he's. You know what? I don't know exactly how old he is, but he doesn't live very far from me. He lives literally like 20 miles from me.
Let's go hang out with George Perez.
Well, I've asked him a couple of times, and he keeps saying, "Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that sometime."
Yeah.
Tell him Barb says hi. Him and his wife and my husband and I share the same anniversary, day, year, everything.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He used to send me an anniversary card on our anniversary.
Well, I would not feel bad because he probably just I know the last time I saw him and this wasn't too long ago. The last time I saw him, he just talked about his vision and the problems. He looked good. He had lost a lot of weight, and he looked good and healthy, but he just couldn't see. So
well, that was Bernie's problem. Before he got cancer, was that his eyesight got so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Wrightson?
Yeah.
Wrightson, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, up next is Roberta.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Roberta Conroy. I'm a graphic designer during the day and during the plague. And living in Los Angeles.
Oh, my.
So I'm a West Coast person. One of the few. Anyway, former Malibu comic colorist from the 90s and in Silverline group. I guess I'm just a colorist. For Cat and Mouse and the brand new Silverline team up.
Yep.
Champion.
Yep. Very cool. And since you said just a colorist, that brings us into
because of
just the penciler.
I'm just the penciler. You can move on.
And move on.
Yeah, I'm the penciler on the aforementioned Silverline team up champion Miss Fury.
Yeah, jamming away.
We're jamming away through issue 2 at the moment. Yes.
Yep.
Why is every time he says I'm just a pencil, I have this overwhelming urge to go like, I didn't know you could draw, Peter.
Yeah.
And,
That's what most people say. You draw. Yeah.
You draw? Really?
Yeah.
So I've started doing like substitute teaching. Right, I've only been doing it about 2 months.
I heard you mention teaching. So talk more about that.
So I do junior school kids. So they're the ones I'm covering for at the moment are 9 years old, basically.
Oh my goodness!
Which is good because I can do the maths that they're doing.
Yeah.
But so I show them like the stuff that I can show them that's not too graphic. I show them the pictures I draw, and they all go, "So do you draw pictures?" So yeah, I illustrate books. Every single one of them goes, "So what are you doing here? Why are you here?"
That's sad.
I can do 2 things.
Because art pays so well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, before Christmas, the school I'm in at the moment, I'm just covering, and the kids found out I drew comics, and literally I had to draw every single one of them a picture. Will you draw me Captain America? Yeah. Very quickly, I'll draw you Captain America real quick. They were just scribbles. But
Oh,
they just wanted pictures, and
Right.
then it was interesting.
Pete, we got another one for you. Eric Dotson said, "So you're just a substitute."
Just as it's actually a teaching assistant. I'm not actually a qualified teacher, so I just help the teacher in the class.
Oh,
Sharpen the
But,
pencils.
He's what?
Can you sharpen the pencils?
Sharpen the pencils.
beats out the erasers.
Yeah.
Take the kids that are a little bit behind and sit with them one to one and do stuff with them. But yeah, it's good. I just pick and choose what days I want to do. So because of COVID, so many teachers are getting told to go and isolate for 2 weeks at a time. So
Oh,
there's
wow.
loads of work available. So I did 2 weeks just before Christmas, and I was doing 2 weeks up until Thursday when one of the kids tested positive for COVID. So we're now all isolating,
Wow.
which they're paying me for, fortunately.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, so when that finishes, I'm sure there'll be someone else, another school that needs covering.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 9 years old. I guess that's what, about fourth grade here, fifth grade.
Yeah, we call it year 4.
Yeah. Year 4. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit of cash for Christmas.
Yeah.
I like it.
I was about to say, so those 2 weeks before helped Tanya get her shoes, right?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. All came in, all went out again.
Right. Yeah.
Straight away.
I can't figure out how to get my money to hang around.
No,
I know.
it's a trick, isn't it?
It's like you've all seen It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you know the scene right after the run on the banks where he takes the $2. Mama dollar and Papa dollar. He goes, you better have some baby dollars if we're going to stay in business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. Well, that sounds cool, Pete. I mean, it's congratulations on. I mean, I hate the situation, that it is, but congratulations on getting the teaching stuff, because I know that'll help.
Yeah.
And you can always tell them about Silverline and say go buy go
I've
support the Kickstarter.
I've always got my make Silverline on.
Very cool.
And the kids sort of poke at it. So I've got one of those. I said, I bet you don't.
Don't you love to tell that to little
Do you
kids?
think it would make the kid feel bad when you ask them, they're like, well, what are you doing here? If you just started breaking down crying, do you think it would make it feel bad?
Still got so wrong. You're right, kids. You're right.
You're right.
They turn around, look at me, and go, well, what are you duing here then? Two things.
It's hilarious that they've all like talked with each other. Say this to him.
Yeah.
This isn't new information. I've been here 4 weeks. Why are you here? Yeah.
They don't want to hear the real world answer, though.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
I can do 2 things.
That's one of the things that one of the problems I have with my university sometimes, and I know no one at my university listens to this. I love my class because I get to talk about comics, right? And in general, we've got a good program, but the recruiters of our university, they have a tendency to sell the dream. You know, and I have a problem with that because they don't, and I understand from Pete and from some of the other Kubert School grads that they're very realistic. That they're like, yeah, you need to make sure you know how to say, do you like fries with that? While you're trying to draw your comic.
Yeah, it's hard.
They're realistic about it. But our recruiters, when they're recruiting for our university, they're not. They're like, oh, do you want to go make a blockbuster film? You come here and we'll teach you how to do that. And I'm like, so wait a minute now, hold on. Let's talk about exactly writing the great American novel. What does that mean? And what? Yeah. So they come here. Many of them come here with stars in their eyes, thinking that. When they graduate, they're going to immediately get into these rock star jobs. I had a kid one time tell me he had this idea for this comic book, and now I'm a senior level class. Okay, so by the time they get to me, they've already had all the freshman, sophomore, junior stuff. Right, they're like 4 months from graduation by the time they get to my class, And I asked the student, I said, well, oh, cool, that sounds great. Well, how much have you got done? And he goes, I don't have anything done on it. And I'm like, but why? I'm like, oh, I'm waiting until I graduate, and then I'm just going to get hired at DC. I'm like, wait,
Okay.
you know it doesn't work that way, right? That's not going to happen. Oh no, but I just need to graduate, and then once I have my diploma, I'll go get a job at DC, and then I'll sell my stuff to them. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. That's not the way it works. And this student argued with me like I had no idea what I'm talking about, and they were going to go do it anyway. And at some point you just say, all right, great, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more you can say.
Yeah.
They'll find out.
Yes.
When I was at our college, they have like this special binder with all the primo jobs. Like we have contacts with Lucasfilm and all this stuff. And when you graduate, then we'll open up, the recruiting book to you. And it's like, okay, well, fortunately I had some experience doing art before and stuff and during, but I was looking forward to it just like everybody else. And sure enough, when we graduated and spent all this money, you open the book and it's like, oh, there's a job to work at the movie theater up the street. I kid you not. I kid you not.
Oh, God.
And then you start realizing, you're like, why is everybody who are the seniors in the class, why are they teaching at the school the year after they graduate? Right?
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't they get any professional experience? Because it's just this meat grinder that everybody just kind of keeps all the sausages, So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody cares about your diploma in the creative arts. It's like, you don't go to a comic convention and show your degree to, the submissions editor or whatever, portfolio. They can care less.
No. When I was an editor, I never once asked for someone's diploma or the degree. I never once. I don't care if they were writers or if they were pencilers or inkers, or it didn't matter. I never once said, "Where'd you get your degree?" It does not matter. The answer is, can you do the work? And generally, the answer, the question was, show me what you've done. Yeah. I want to see what you've done before I hire you to do this thing that I'm going to do.
When I got hired on at Malibu, if they would have asked me what I'm doing, I was like, I'm a housewife.
Yeah. It's like in the martial arts, I've honestly met more black belts than I've met white belts in my entire life. And I kid you not, and I do a martial art where they don't have belts, so I still don't have my black belt. So it's been 25 years, go figure. But it's like, if somebody's going to mug you, you don't pull out your black belt and like, don't understand I have a black belt.
I've got a black belt.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that how you get jobs?
I've got a black belt. Don't touch me.
Then you just kind of threaten them like, I am a kung fu master. I'm like, well, I we have work for you somewhere, Curtis.
Well, kind of to touch with what Peter was saying. I work in a middle school for my day job, right? Yeah. And so I do the student of the month presentation. So I put this big presentation, and the students come in pre-COVID for breakfast and get awarded. So I'm doing this whole presentation on the mic, and all the kids are happy, and they're leaving. This one parent comes up to me, and he's a martial arts person. I'm fairly well known in certain martial arts circles, and he goes, "Are you Master Curtis Fujita?"
Nice.
What's up with? I get paid,
That's when you say, yes, bow to me now.
Yeah, exactly. It's the people.
Yeah. So Curtis, what about you? What Santa Claus bring you?
Oh, well, I got my gift like a month early. I got the PlayStation 5. I was one of the lucky people that was able to secure it.
Okay, cool.
And the agreement with my wife was, yes, you can have it, but it's your birthday, Christmas, quinceañera.
I've had those before.
Yeah, it's everything. So when Christmas came, we put up the tree, and I just happily took the box and put it under the tree and just kept it there. I have no shame. So that was what Santa Claus did for me. And then I spent all my time working on my book. I basically finished doing all the thumbnails for the whole first issue. So
cool.
now it's moving. Thank you. So now it's moving forward to other things. But that was mostly it, and just stayed at home. My mother-in-law, we went to visit her briefly, but she's a bit older, so we literally went to the backyard, waved at her, and she made us our meal, but it was like in to-go boxes, and she was just like, here's your food, and we'll see it, you know. So it was an LA Christmas, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over here now. Yeah. But and then I played a lot of Red Dead Online, the cowboy game.
Oh,
And-
Is that on PlayStation 5 now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And
Now, that's not the one that you were complaining about with all the bugs, right?
no, that's
Oh,
not that one. Yeah, that
I
was
think that's probably Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay, yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 was hilarious. But I've been playing Red Dead, and the whole point is, you know, you make money in the game, and you're a cowboy, you can do things, and they want you to play a certain way where you're either like a bounty hunter, or you prepare and tan hides from animals that you hunt. And of course, I found out how to game the system, so I put my camp right by this farm, and every night I would go in and I would tie up the head farmer, throw him in the bushes, and then I would just slaughter every animal in the farm and take all their hides and then sell them the next day. And I've been like accruing a lot of money really fast doing that. And it came to the realization to me as I was finishing.
You're part of PETA, right?
Huh?
You're part of PETA, right?
Well, the funny thing is like there's the game you're supposed to play, and then there's the game I play, right? And I realized I was leaving this farm, and there's just all these carcasses of cows everywhere, and I was like, you know, I think I'm the one that's responsible for all those animal mutilations on the farm that they think are UFOs. You know, that's me. In this game. So, but yeah, it was pretty relaxed, and you know, like Ron was saying, you know, it's a rough situation, but it's nice to have that huge chunk of time to work on something. It's really great.
Yeah. Oven says, "I love that game."
Oh God, it's so good.
Yeah.
And if you want to find us on there, my character, he's a half Native American gunslinger. His name is Gunshy Cheyenne, and we tried to name our posse the Bastards, but they wouldn't let us because it's a bad word. So our posse is called the Illegitimate Sons. So you
That's great.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, I got out of order here. That we slipped around. So
I can go.
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
So Christmas is pretty low key. I have my friend Summer came over with my mother, and we watched Wonder Woman. I have mixed feelings about that movie, and if anyone knows me, I'm like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posters of Wonder Woman in the room I'm in right now. You just can't see them. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of a fan. So I liked seeing Wonder Woman in the movie. The storyline just didn't. They did a lot of stuff in the movie where they just kind of made up stuff as they went along for no real reason to make certain things happen, and that's a huge faux pas with me with writing. You got to have some reason. You can't just because and then stuff happens.
Because we need the story to go here.
We need the story to go, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm also a huge fan of Robotech. I grew up with Robotech. So for Christmas, I got some actual figures from Japan that are replacing Veritechs and Alpha Fighters.
Nice.
And that are way, way more money than they ever should be. But they're really cool when you get them. They just cost you. Yeah, but that's and then I got the Gundam model. I'm not really good at building them, but I like building them. And now I got to quit buying them because I run out of room to put them. I'm like I just don't have any more room. I love building them. It's kind of a bummer. That's the fun thing. You build them, and then when you're done building them, you kind of have the sad face, like, oh, now I'm all done. So yeah. And then of course, is the game I've been playing besides working on my comic book is that Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
Which is a really weird game. You play a samurai, and the whole game is very calm and. They even play flute music, and you can actually write haikus in it. Not kidding. And then it's very calm and peaceful until you see some guys on the road. Then you must bathe the grass in the blood of your enemies because that is what happens when you're a samurai. So it's a very I'm not sure what this game really wants to be. It's like meditative Slaughterfest, or it's like I don't know. It's fun. I'll give it that.
Thomas Formani says, looks like we need to keep an eye on Curtis.
Oh, yeah. Tommy has been such a tease in the private messages on Facebook. He's driving me absolutely insane. So I did a pinup with my character in Cat and Mouse, and Tommy wrote me. He says, "Hey, that was a nice pinup." I said, "Hey, thanks. Glad you liked it." And then he wrote back like, "Yeah, you look good. Thanks." And then he wrote back again, something like, "What if it was that I did more than just see it?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You'll have to see it." I mean, is somebody special helping it along? And he goes, "Maybe." And so I have been checking that message. I'm like a girl trying to go to the prom and thinks this guy's gonna ask her out, and I'm checking my message like every 20 minets for the last day. He's driving me crazy, and I'm hoping it's what I think it is, but I'm not gonna. I have to play coy. I want to be hard at that.
The one thing I did say when you're talking about you slaughtering all the animals, whatever. Does anybody here watch Kids in the Hall? Ever watch?
Yeah,
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
There was just one skit with this guy Dave coming out was talking about, he was a mass murderer. And he's like, the problem is not so much the murdering, it's the mass part. It's just sheer volume of killing you have to do to be considered. And I'm just thinking of Curtis, he's like, it's not really just killing the animals, it's just the mass amount of animals I must slaughter every night in order to recruit this.
The game encourages you because the game goes as you're slaughtering the farm animals, it's giving you like this negative honor. It's saying you're less honorable, you're less honorable. But as soon as you carve the hide off,
bother you.
Yeah, no, as soon as you carve the hide off, then it says you have more honor because you're resourceful. So as long as you keep it nullifies the whole thing. It's a total
fine with it.
Yeah.
Curtis is like, you killed that man, that's bad. But I scalped him. That's good. I'm resourceful.
Yeah.
Don't let that human go to waste. Get in there and skin him.
Exactly. As long as you can justify it, that's what it's saying.
That's right. Yeah.
Guys, just excuse me for a second. I'm going to check my Facebook message if Tommy wrote anything.
Tommy sent a message. Okay, Roberta, how about you?
Hey.
How was
We
Santa Claus?
also had a low-key Christmas, I guess. It was nice. Good dinner and watched lots of Home Alone. Home Alone 2.
Oh.
Home Alone. I'm just saying, isn't that kind of an allegory to what you're actually going through while Home Alone?
No, I
isolated?
really
You're
hope,
watching a movie called Home Alone.
I really hope that the kid is not learning bit by bit how to be that destructive and dangerous. I'm working on it.
He became the mass murderer I talked about in the skit. He started Home Alone and then changed.
Well, somebody posted, what if you had that show, the movie The Purge, but it was with Home Alone grown up, during The Purge?
Yeah.
It would be the best movie ever, right?
That might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember somebody said some doctor watched Home Alone and he was saying, looking at the movies, these guys would have been dead within the first few minutes of
Well,
the
that
movie.
was what I kept saying to him the whole time. Was like, no one could survive that. But boy, is it funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and they got descended on by birds. I mean, that's really funny. Anyway, I got some art supplies to sketch mode, which is really great because I haven't made myself do physical art like that. I've been on the computer just the whole time, so that should be healthy for me to
So were they like sketch pads and pencils or
sketchbooks?
colors
And pencils and tracing paper and sketchbooks and some erasers and it'll work. It'll all work.
You don't need no stinking eraser.
No, you do. It's the smudging eraser.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not the erasing eraser, but the smudging eraser.
Mm-hmm. Those are nice. I like it. Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, I'll have that, be part of my day. I'll try to do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the Art of Star Wars Mandalorian book, which I'm really
that looks awesome.
Oh, there you go.
The concept art in there is amazing.
I haven't watched The Mandalorian second season.
We're just about 3 episodes in.
I just got done finishing up the Preacher TV series.
Oh yeah, I quite enjoyed the series actually.
Yeah.
I know it's not quite loyal to the comic book, but
It really did. I it's been a while since I've read the comics. So by the end of the series, I forgot how crazy Preacher got.
yeah,
Like by the end, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot the crazy stuff they do. But they did stay. Some of the changes were there was a few changes in the middle of season 3. I'm like, it's okay. I'm not really into that. But then they did a good job in season 4.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. But Mandalorian.
Yeah, we're about 3 or 4 episodes into the second season.
It's so good.
It's like 7 episodes, right?
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It's short. It really is.
Yeah, I did like the Mandalorian.
We haven't started the second season yet. We enjoyed the first season quite a bit.
The second is
have you avoided
gonna
the
take it to a
spoilers?
new level.
You got the last episode got spoiled for me before I even watched it, so I knew what was coming. I was like,
I know general ideas.
I've
Cool,
avoided
but-
it all. I've
Yeah, I
avoided it
didn't,
all,
sadly.
unfortunately. So
Twitter's a spoil central.
yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, and I
the
got
other one we
one
just
bit of
started-
news I'm going to mention to you guys. I actually got a regular full-time job rather than just gig work. It's great. Yay!
Yeah,
Remote.
congratulations.
Magazine publisher
Awesome.
in Vermont.
Congrats.
So I'm definitely remote.
Wow, that's
Wow,
very cool.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Finally, I don't have to look for work every other day.
Oh man,
You know.
that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you mention the magazine?
It's Hemmings.
Hemmings?
Hemmings. Automotive titles.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
That sounded familiar.
I was like, I don't know what it is. But
I
maybe.
did. I
We have 4
recognize it.
titles.
I recognize it. My brother is huge into cars.
Okay, well, Hemmings is been around for a very long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Uh,
proud to be part of that. It's really neat.
Yeah. Quentin says, that's great, Roberta.
Thank you.
He says that Mando has brought the magic back to Star
Yeah.
Wars for me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it feels like Star Wars again.
That happens.
Yeah. So, so the other one we just started on, I haven't. I've tried to avoid the spoilers. I saw some people posting about it, so I don't know exactly what happens. Is Cobra Kai?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're watching that right now.
Yeah,
the third season.
we really liked the first 2 seasons, and we've only watched the first episode of season 3. And I saw someone post about just a little snippet about this is what happens in the next episodes, and I'm kind of without kind of real spoilers.
It's
but
too
it's just
crazy, so it's kind of dumb to hear it like a soap opera, but honestly, watching it is fun.
yeah.
The action scenes are fun.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, Curtis, how do you feel about the cringiness of the reality of Valley focus that they have?
Oh, what do you mean? You mean, can I speak on the quality of the martial arts?
No.
The
No,
Simi
I
Valley.
was gonna say, I'm going to ask you that next, but first I'm going to say of the
Valley?
of the bubble of the Valley and how they got that down to a comedic perfection.
Yeah, I think it's a good series in terms of the drama, and being close to the Valley. It kind of captures the vibe a little bit. I think
Yeah, there was a big push for karate when I was a kid in that
Really?
time. So I do remember that.
Yeah.
Well, there were at least a lot of my friends were in it. I don't know.
When there's
So what do you think, Curtis, about the choreography of it and the look of how the karate comes off?
Hey, this is a comic live stream, right?
Sure it is. It is live though, right?
Yeah.
It could be better, but I think the story is really good. The martial arts could definitely be better, but it is what it is. It's good enough,
So do they need a comic book?
What about it?
Do they need a comic book?
Yeah.
But no, I think it's an excellent show. It's an excellent. There's some things from the martial arts background that you're just kind of like, okay, I don't think they quite get it, But overall, I really enjoy it, and my wife likes it too. So if I can get her to watch the martial arts thing with me,
I just always saw the martial arts and there as a mix between street fighting and martial arts. That's how they kind of seem to portray it. Where like they start doing martial arts moves and then they're just like punching and kicking each other with no real reason or rhyme behind what they're doing. I'm like, okay. So Especially the Johnny character is like that a lot, I think. More of a street fighter than a martial artist. I see in a lot of his moves.
Yeah, he's probably the best martial artist in the show, or one of the best ones. Is that guy that plays Johnny Lawrence?
Yeah,
he moves really well. Well, Ralph Macchio is a good actor. So
yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. One of the things I've liked about it, I've liked that they've gotten the guys from the original movie, and Brett is trapped in a building and he's getting shot at by 3 different squads now. Sorry. Yeah. I liked the fact that they had the original actors come back as adults and playing adults, and then
I love
this
that.
I was like, this is pretty cool to see, to see that happen. So,
and then they all have kids, that's neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
probably
They're in the top 3. They're down to three teams right now. So
Well, good luck.
in this match. So one team has 3, one team has 2, and one team has 1, and that last one is Brett. So yeah. So come on, Silverline Esports. So did you get everybody on the Christmas? Everybody talk about Christmas?
I think so.
That's Wubba?
Wubba? We talked about his signature. Did you
Oh,
get
yeah.
to finish Wubba?
Yeah. Or was that his introduction that we talked about that?
I think that was the introduction.
How was Christmas for you, Wubba? Uh-oh.
Yeah, pretty good.
He's unmuted, I think.
He's muted. Yeah.
Oh, there I am.
There you go.
There I am. Yeah, my Christmas was quiet. I did nothing. 0. A lot of this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
talking about
fine.
right there.
Looking good.
That's the good
I'm
stuff.
on the last 4 pages.
I know.
And
All right.
because I was doing everything digitally, trying to get through the book a bit quicker because I'm slow by hand, a bit picky. But I actually break everything down on scrap paper, and then I light table it all back on. So this is what I've been doing.
I want to see.
Cool.
Throw it up.
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me see here.
Wait.
I don't. Hold on.
Look at that foot.
Wait,
I
right
love
there.
Look at that foot.
that.
Nice.
I love his
Right.
reaction shot. I like his lips and the teeth. The impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I love that. That's so cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's what I've been doing all the single panel breakdowns and then light tabling on the boards. So I got actual pages for the Kickstarter when it comes.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Those are always good.
So whoever gets those are getting just all action pages. That's what's going to be available for the Kickstarter. Is all action pages.
Good.
Nice.
Yep. It's kind of weird that you kind of have to find yourself in a discerning. Okay, do I go digital with this one, or is this one? No, let's go physical with this one. This makes a good.
Yeah.
I know Barb and Tommy both have talked about. That's how they choose
that's
the
how
inking.
Yeah. How can I sell this? On the
Right, yeah.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's what makes my decision. It's a good page to sell on the Kickstarter.
Well, that's what I think about. I mean, like when you go to Comic Cons and you're looking at art,
Mhm.
you just pass up all the talking pages.
Yeah.
And then, boom,
Yeah.
the action page sticks out. And
Yeah.
of course, they want like 500, 600 bucks for it.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Always.
It's always been my belief, both as a writer and an editor, is that if you got 22 pages in a comic, you should. You have to have kind of the some of the slower scenes to tell your story, right? You can't go breakneck pace all the time. But if you've got 22 pages, you should try to get a healthy mix. You should have 11 pages of action and 11 pages of downtime. Not necessarily all together like that, right? You kind of want that roller coaster, but no one wants to read a book that just has talking heads. You want action. You want. And the action is different depending on what the book is, right? But whether it's martial arts or whether it's superhero or whether it's historical action. You want the action, but
It's funny how my comic is broken down. I've actually done entire issues of conversation. I had one conversation lasted 10 pages. It was kind of an important conversation in the context story. But then when I do the next issue is one huge action scene. And then I go back. So I've been actually doing entire issues of nothing but like huge battles and then going to the aftermath or whatever. I don't know if I didn't plan it that way. I mean, this is supposed to be one collected book, so it's not just kind of broke down into the issues, but it's what served the story. But yeah, I understand.
You're looking at it as a volume, though, and not
as a volume. Yeah. That and when you read it all together, it should be talk action,
right?
Sort of
stuff. Yeah. So it's not 10 pages out of your 22 page issue. It's 10 pages out of your. I can't do that kind of math.
I think it's like 300.
300 pages. Yeah. So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think a book like Cat and Mouse or something like Sniper and Rook, they could get away with telling a book that's just straight action, like all the way through one issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can completely get away with that because of the nature of the characters.
Yeah. You want to have you want to have some downtime because you don't want your reader to feel like they're running the whole time, right? You don't want your reader to feel that way. So
you mean John Wick?
Yeah.
Even John Wick has downtime though.
Not very much.
It doesn't last very long.
Kill, gas, kill.
Yeah, he has to go, but he has to get there from one scene to the next. So even John Wick has, and I do like John Wick, has some downtime to it. So I think you can
very little though.
Yeah. I love the first movie, but by the time we went to the last movie, I was just like, all right, I need a plot. Here.
Yeah.
No.
No, just fight and then fight.
It's just one long bloodbath from beginning to end.
Brilliant.
That's what
Brilliant.
we talked about with new writers. I see this a lot of times in independent comics and comics. Like I remember I read one comic where it was like, I mean, literally I've seen, well, not one, but I've seen a few that like the first page is like this guy's like, I said something about, did you say something about my mom? Yeah, they fight. And then there's like the rest, there's very little context of why they're fighting.
Yeah.
I even see this in movies a lot where they do these big action scenes and it's like there's no context or real reason why they're fighting. It just looks cool. And then I go back to the movie Die Hard, which is one of my favorite action movies. And there's obviously, they built that character up enough that when he's in trouble going through it, you have context,
right?
Or you care about him. And I tell people like that, like if nobody cares about your character, the action isn't going to mean anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, every scene, no matter what you're doing, every scene should advance your story in some, and it should serve your story in some way. A lot of times I know that young writers want to stick something in just because it's cool, and I just want to show that this character can do this. Well, okay, that's cool, but let's find a different way that character can demonstrate that actually advances your story.
Right.
Have it serve the story, not just be a fluff scene.
Right. I think a little bit that kind of, and I'm going to maybe put my foot in my mouth, but blame a little bit of pop culture on the internet. And that, in other words, so much popular culture nowadays is about really cool anecdotes and little scenes, little funny scenes. And these kind of make those ways in the stories to disservice the story. If, for instance, somebody's in a movie and then somebody like breaks a fourth wall and says something about the internet or some meme on the internet or something funny that's happening in the real world that they think is clever and funny, but it doesn't really service the story, and sometimes can take you out of it a little bit.
That caught me right out.
Yeah. Some of the for instance, the classic one that I had was the new Star Wars movie where he was talking in the beginning. I think it was the last one, The Last Jedi, where he's fighting over and he's calling up the Death Star and he's like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "Sorry," and he's like making that goofy phone call, which would be something that would be funny in the real world, but it completely didn't work in Star Wars. It broke that. And again, it's just like, it'd be funny. It's like, we had to be funny, but not in Star Wars.
Right. Yeah.
And that's, I think people kind of, they trip up on that a lot in movies. And I don't know if that's just the corporate media people saying, well, we need to put all these relevant, funny jokes to talk to the young kids.
Right.
Even at the disservice of the story.
Well, it's like Thor Ragnarok, right? Which we can we could talk about it if we want to, but I don't think so. When Thor was getting his hair cut,
Yeah.
I thought his reaction was appropriate, but then at first it was like, yeah, that's funny, but then I can't remember the exact words, but then his second line was like, okay, that's a little bit too much. You didn't have to do that. You did that just for the joke, but this is Thor, and no, don't do that.
Yeah, Ragnarok to me, Ragnarok, I thought it was an okay movie. It just kind of broke the Thor character from the first movie. They kind of changed his character a little bit, almost too much. Where I'm like, I don't think this is. I think it was just supposed to be like Tony Stark is supposed to be the snarky one, and by the times of the movie, like everybody's snarky, and I'm like, so everybody's Tony Stark now. So that was a little. It took me out of the characters, except Captain America. They kind of, they made fun of the fact that he didn't know anything about modern day. Like that was kind of funny, Yeah. So.
Yeah, I like it when like I always like from the action choreography standpoint. Like one of the reasons that I like even the latter Matrix movies that was cool is the choreography matches the characters. They use select movements that are indicative of their personalities. And if you watch
the Matrix movies,
if you watch each of the characters has certain moves that they use, and they never break out of that. And what I saw, what was fascinating is at that time people were just thinking if it's martial artsy looking, it's cool. So you would have a movie where there's like an overweight New York beat cop, and he would do a somersault kick for no reason. And it's like, why would this beat cop be the guy that would do that technique? It doesn't match his personality. It's really cool when somebody can infuse that in the action. There's still that storytelling,
Yeah, the Smith character. He was so much more aggressive in his attacking than Neo. Neo was much more defensive, and you could see that in the way they did that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I concur.
So, any New Year's resolutions? Does anybody do that?
I forgot.
You forgot it was a new year? Wait a minute. How can you forget we're leaving 2020?
I just wanted to forget 2020 altogether.
2021's already picked up where 2020 left off. So
So maybe not New Year's, because we're not big on New Year's resolutions in my house. But anything, maybe. So if it's not New Year's resolutions, what about anything that goals for 2021? Maybe something like that.
For me, I'm always very goal oriented. But the realization and the thing I'm trying to kind of instill in myself is the idea of routines. Like you can have your goal, but you have to have your routine in place. And as long as you commit to that routine, the goal will come. It's kind of like that saying, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And that's really hard to do on a day-to-day basis. But my goal is just to have more routines. If on the daily I'm working on my book, or on my daily I'm working on something, eventually I'll get to the goal. But maintaining that regular routine is the key.
That's a really good point. I'd have to say I've had a lot of success if I'm taking small steps, and the small steps add up.
Yeah.
If I don't put them in, I say, well, it's just kind of inconvenient. That's okay. I won't do it. Then a lot of time can go by.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that routine, it really does make a really big difference.
Yeah.
I think my goal for 2021 is to find more things that bring me joy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And improve my coloring techniques.
Yeah.
And get faster.
Yeah.
That one's mine. Mine is to pencil faster and to get the second issue of Cat and Mouse done before the end of the year.
Make a success of Divinity #2. That would be a great one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine would
I
be finish my book before the convention season. Hopefully to have the convention come back in September. There's a big one, so I'm hoping to get my book done, which would be really weird because the last time I went to the convention, I was up to issue 4, and now I come back and I'll be all the way up to issue 12.
Look at that!
So,
is that?
That's the cover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, gorgeous!
yeah.
I love it.
That looks like a great.
It's the
I love
flat.
the balance in it. It's just really great.
It doesn't there. It's the flat.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can.
Nice.
Cool.
It's very nice.
Working on it anyway. Now I'm putting in the highlights and the the shadows. But yeah, I want to get faster and learn as I go. I'm such a newbie at the coloring thing that there's so much I have left to learn. That's one of my goals.
Yeah.
That's right.
Practice and you'll love it. At least it's a fun process.
Yeah, it is.
Well, and you've been doing it long enough to know the truth of, what a lot of times what I tell a lot of, young artists is that, when they talk about speed, and I think that's important if you're going to do comics, because, we don't get, no one in comics, I don't even care if you work for Marvel, you don't get paid by the hour, right? You get paid by the page.
Yeah.
And so if it takes you 20 hours to do a page, you're getting paid less than the person it takes to, who can do a page in 10 hours or 8 hours, right? You're getting paid less per page, even if you're making the same rate.
I'd love to have the speed that I used to have in the 90s. I was inking 2 pages a day.
Yeah, but a lot of that also comes with practice, because when you first starting off is you want to you don't want to make sure that you're getting it right, and you get that, you give that kind of little extra time and energy to make sure it's right. And then the more you do that, the more practiced you become, the less it becomes. I don't want to, I don't want to try to downplay it at all, because I don't mean it in a bad way. But it becomes kind of a habit. You're just like, okay, I know how to make this line because I've made this line a dozen times before, and I know how to make it. Where when you're first starting out, it's like, ooh, I've never made this line before. I got to get it just so. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the big thing that I'm finding in coloring and learning it, and Roberta is probably like, I got this right down, but is I have to stare at a page for a little while and figure out what my whole ambiance and theme is going to be for that page, a feel.
That's perfect though, Barbara. Actually, that's what I think gets you the farthest. Without planning, you spend a lot of time switching colors and not liking it. If you have a plan, it comes together really quick. So it's right on target.
Oh, good.
Do the thought process first. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I generally have an idea when I color because I colored my comic. I had one that I wanted. This person lives in like this hollowed out tree, so I wanted more of a green nature overtone. So I just made sure I stuck in those sort of earthy colors. I think it worked, especially when my main character had red, so he popped out like that against all the other colors. I'm like, oh, that works.
Yeah, and if you're going to have a page that's mostly in shadow, you just dump one like blue on the underlayer and then work up from there.
Yeah, I just keep highlighting and stuff. Yeah, so.
Well, I think speed is always speed in any art form or any endeavor is about perception. That's why it's like anybody in any art form at a high level has trained their ability to perceive. A musician has trained their ear to pick up the most subtle nuances. A chef has improved their palate, and an artist, so it appears fast just because you're processing the information faster. There's less delay, but really the best people at anything, they're really good at perceiving the truth of their art, right? And that takes time. Once you got it, you got it.
Have you guys ever heard the stories that Marv Wolfman and Lynn Wein used to talk about when they would go to Jack Kirby's? When they were all still in New York.
No.
Yeah. So Marv was telling the story one time, and it was like he and Lynn would just sit down on the floor and watch Jack draw and talk with him and pick his brain and all that stuff, all that kind of stuff. And they said that when he would start a new page, he'd put a new page on the board, and his hand would literally kind of go around the over the board like that without the pencil touching it. It looked like he was sketching, right? But his pencil would never touch the board. And they said he would do that for a couple of minutes, and then suddenly he would just go and then put the pencil down, and he'd just start drawing as if he just was tracing something at that point in time.
He was writing it in his mind.
Yeah, he was writing it. He was composing it in his brain, getting it out on what he was seeing,
laying it out.
That's so cool to watch.
Yeah. It's I heard Marv tell the story more than once, and it's just fascinating to hear. How, I mean, obviously Jack's the king, but Quentin says commercial graphic art is the same. He says you figure out how much to put in and where to stop the more you do as well. He said you can indefinitely add to a piece until you ruin it. Yeah. and I think we've all seen painters do that kind of thing. They'll get into it, and then you're just like, okay, stop, and they just keep going, and you're like, no, stop, just stop.
Yeah, I'm notorious for yelling at the TV when Bob Ross is painting.
Oh yeah.
Like no more trees. Leave it.
This looks really good, Bob. I'm going to add a house. No, Bob.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
I always love
always
it
the same thing too. Oh, our tree needs a happy little friend.
Yeah.
The symmetry's perfect. Leave it alone.
Maybe you should put some flowers in the tree too while you're at it.
Yeah.
And the worst is when it like scrapes in that house. You're watching
The palette. The palette.
Yeah, he like scrapes in a house. I'm like, that's not even on the right perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even.
Well, but I think you're missing out on an opportunity. If you have your own YouTube channel where it's just you commentary on top of his videos of you yelling at the screen and just comment,
Yeah.
you would have a successful YouTube channel. That would be awesome.
I've thought about that actually.
You should. I would
Doing
so
that.
check that out.
That'd be funny. I would watch that.
John Alexander.
Mhm.
You remember Alexander? He did the same method as Bob Ross, like a few years before Bob Ross was.
Oh, the
famous.
wet on wet technique.
Yeah, the wet on wet. He would do the same. He was like the French dude. He'd be like, "Je mets du butt."
That's them.
It was the same thing.
That's funny.
Pete's
But
like,
he was-
that's one thing we can agree on.
Yeah, that's them.
But it was always outside when he painted, whereas Bob Ross was always in the studio. But exact same technique. Same.
It's funny. I remember years and years ago, and if anyone, I've tried to look this up, and I found very few snippets. But it was this thing of like our public broadcasting, Oregon public broadcasting, what we have out here. But it was this guy that what he would do is they would tell a kid's book story in the context of the show, but as he got to certain pages of the book, the guy would illustrate the pages.
Oh, I love
there.
that.
Oh, I saw that.
It was like colored pencil and stuff, and it was amazing. And I don't remember the name of the show, and it's very hard to find it. And I actually did find a snippet, and it was still as cool as I remember. The guy was just an amazing artist, and he would just sit there and just draw this entire scene as they would talk. They would tell the story, and then they move on to the next scene. And it was just amazing to watch
I
that.
remember that show. We used to actually have to sit and watch that when I was in first grade.
Yeah.
We would have the videos, whatever, in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would actually have to sit and watch that. And the one I remember is the chicken or whatever, the fox. And I forgot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, making the bread one. That's the one. Yeah, the story about the chicken making the bread or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Chicken
and
Little?
something like that. I'm
Oh,
not
the
sure.
little red hen.
Yep, that's it. Little red hen. That's it.
Yeah. I remember one about this kid. I wonder if it was like where the red fern grows, which I don't think is a kid story, but something of that nature, like a kid out in the country.
Where the red fern grows. That's a coonhound story.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it was like, yeah, this guy was just, and I was trying to look back and see if I could see an underdrawing, because you're thinking this guy is just drawing, is he just straight up drawing from memory? If he is, he's amazing, because I'm always like, is there an underdrawing, or did he figure out anything? I couldn't see anything. It looked like he was just either he had reference, or he was just straight drawing it out and nailing the proportions, which hats off to you if you can do that. Very few artists can do that.
Quentin said, Mystery Science Theater for Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's what Wubba needs. And you have 300 episodes, so you got a lot to do, Wubba.
Yeah, like 15 seasons. They keep me going for a while.
I'll send you a message about that, Wubba. So I'll get around to my goal. One of my goals for this year is, if you saw the Silverline, looking forward to 2021. We've got 6 dates planned this year for Kickstarters. Now I look at that and it kind of scares me. But we did 4 last year, and it was like, oh my gosh. So we've got the my Google Calendar has those times marked out every other month. So there's January, March, May, July, September, November. So y'all realize that means 12 books this year. Yeah. So
That's ambitious.
yeah. So it's scary, exciting, and fun all at the same time. And I think that's one thing that I have to kind of keep reminding myself is this. This is fun stuff, and I want to, hopefully anyway, try to do everything we can to make sure, we keep having fun. I enjoy these because our streams as well, because the fact that we miss, we don't have conventions in a kind of way. I'm going to one next Sunday. It's a local one. But we don't have them in a big way anymore. I miss conventions. I miss being able to go to those and kind of geek out with comics. So these have kind of they're not a full replacement, but these are kind of it's kind of nice to get on and talk with some like-minded individuals about comics.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's inspiring. I mean, it's like every week I almost judge my progress and things I'm working on based on the last stream I talked to all of you folks. It's like somebody goes, well, "What did you do?" Like, "Oh, I didn't do anything this week." It's like I kind of feel like a slacker. I have to do something between this week and when I see you guys next, right?
Yeah. Well, I actually think that's a good point. Is that these they do help keep you kind of motivated, right? They do kind of. For me, they do kind of recharge your creative energies when you get to see, each other, the next week. It's like, oh, what are you working on now? Well, I finished this. I'm working on this now, and it helps to keep you motivated, keep you moving forward. And I think, particularly in light of 2020, it's helped to keep us sane.
Yes.
It has. I say emphatically yes.
Yes.
Matter of
to be
debate.
sane with all of the bad news in the air and people
Yep.
getting sick, and it's a lot of heaviness, and it's the combination of having the support structure of other artists, saying, "Hey, I'm working on this, and you're working on this piece," and we're keeping each other inspired.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's, I mean, this is not really a studio, but I think some of this functions a little bit like what a studio. I never worked in a studio. I don't know that writers can really function that well in a studio, kind of like the traditional artists, have done before. But I look at this as it kind of, it kind of functions a little bit like a studio would,
Yeah.
Quentin says, until Roland puts a scoreboard up, like at my work, 5 pages Peter, 3 pages Webba. Hey, that's not a bad idea.
I can't speak to one thing you guys are not mentioning is that a page can be really full of detail or not.
Right.
And you can have a 2-page spread that would be the same amount of work as a single page.
Right.
Depending on how you handle it.
Yes, not every page is equal. That's for sure.
That's what I'm going for: quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
not
my
just
excuse,
quality,
I
but it just means you can put a lot more detail in everything, or it just depending on what the characters look like and what the scenes look like and the setting you have them in, or if it's blank in the back.
Or if you have a Victorian house full of all kinds of tchotchkes, or a minimalist house where you can just one color and you're done.
Yeah, the guy's got a shelf and a fireplace and that's it. And
or fire engines.
Fire engines.
Fire
engines.
Or fire everywhere.
Urban Street.
Or a Victorian house in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Urban Street.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Bourbon
can't
Street,
wait
yeah,
until
that's
you
a
get
great
that
one.
shop figured out, like whatever their store is going to look like. I'm sure that's going to be
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a lot of stuff.
That's gonna be some fun. It's gonna be some fun.
When I first joined, I never understood Barb's frustration with the Victorian houses. I now fully understand.
Oh yeah.
Wubba's like, can't we move cat and mouse to like West Texas? We
Yeah.
just
Yes.
save.
I was so sick of that Victorian house.
No.
Has it burned down yet?
Yeah. So it's so the story that Wub is drawing is it happens after the one that Alex is drawing right now, which is the final conflict between Widowmaker and Cat and Mouse. So.
And Widowmaker's house is the one I'm talking about.
Yes, I know the one you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about. So let me just put it this way. Wubba doesn't have to draw it in the next storyline.
Good.
He's not going to argue.
And the good thing is, Roberta has already cracked her knuckles on some fire in the Pete's Silverline team up. So she's got her fire knuckles ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready, and I'm doing it different.
We know when,
the way that I want to do it.
Here's the the siren of a fire engine. He breaks into a cold sweat now.
Never again.
Never again. That would never happen.
Wait, don't say that, because that's like
Here we go.
And I love New Orleans, but oh my God, is there a lot of curly cues in all the buildings?
Yes.
There is.
Buildings are very ornate. Everything is extra or ornamented.
Yeah.
I hate them and love them at the same time.
Yeah.
I've been to New Orleans during Mardi Gras too, and I loved it. But oh my God, drawing it is a whole different thing.
So
very different.
That's actually something I would like to do. Is
you
to
earn
go
any
down
beads,
to
Barbara?
Well, I went to New Orleans for New Year's Eve, and that was way better than Mardi Gras because less people, but the same parties.
Yeah. So did you earn beads?
Oh, I don't think so. No, I wasn't out for the beads. I was definitely just enjoying it.
I caught all mine at the parades. They throw them out.
Yeah.
I caught all mine there. So legitimately, I didn't have to work for them.
And that's all we'll say on that.
Thank you, Roland.
All right, 10:53. Probably ought to call it a night. Don't forget that. Let's see if I can share this one more time. I think I still got it up. What happened? Are y'all still there?
Yeah.
So my Chrome window has disappeared. Oh, there it is. What the heck? That was weird. Wait, no, that's not what I need. There's what I need. Ah, that was weird. All right, share screen. Daytona Beach. All right, so don't forget, we want to give a shout out to Daytona Beach Comic Convention as one of our sponsors. As you can see, the dates are still yet to be announced here. Fall, winter 2021. We anticipate it being in October, because that's when it was 2 years ago, and then I think the year before that it was also in October. So we anticipate October. We just don't know exactly when yet. I know some of it. I've talked to the show, and I'll probably talk to him again. I'll probably talk to him this time next week when I do the little show in DeLand, which I will be in DeLand next week with John Crowther, for the writer of Teen Beetle. And also Brent Larson will be there, the guy who wrote Kalis. So we'll be at DeLand. It's a small show, kind of in a little I don't know, like a flea market venue kind of thing. It's not a flea market, but it's kind of like a little flea market venue. I don't know if those are popular outside of the South, but so I'll probably get more news about Daytona Beach then. But yes, so we are very thankful to Daytona Beach for being a sponsor for the Silverline live streams. We appreciate them very much. Appreciate Tom. I guess we'll just go around and tell everybody where they can find you. Curtis, we'll start with you. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Okay, if your name is Tommy Formonte, you can find me on Facebook Messenger. I'm waiting for everybody else. You can find me on Facebook, Curtis Fujita. You can find me through my martial arts book, Tiger Crane Kung Fu on Facebook, Tiger Crane 805 on Instagram and YouTube. That's
Just remember when you fill out the restraining order, that you spell Tommy TOMM.
Yeah, and this year, Curtis, we should be seeing some Shadow Ghost, right?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
man, I didn't share any art. Dadgummit. So we should be seeing some Shadow Ghost, right?
Yes. Yes.
Very cool. Excellent.
I know on one of the live streams.
Yes, a lot of us are anxious to see that. Wubba, how about you? Where can folks find you online?
For right now, I'm just on Facebook, but it's private. I have a website that's going to be going up public soon.
Cool.
Just basic information with commission prices and info and links to Silverline.
Excellent.
And as far as the commissions, I'll just post something up in the Silverline group.
Okay.
And, I will give anybody that gets commissions from me, if it's a Silverline character, you'll get free inking.
Sweet.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
So,
that's a deal.
That's the deal. If it's long as Silverline,
Sweet.
free inks. Anything else, you got to pay for the inks.
That's a sweet deal. Very cool.
Yeah, that's all.
Aaron, what about you? Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Facebook. My name, Aaron Humphreys. Humphreys Illustration is I post on both. So if you go to Humphreys, find my name or go to Humphreys, I pretty much post the same thing in either or. So it depends on what you want to follow. Instagram AOH3810 is my handle, and I need to change that. I'm waiting to run out of my business card. Have my old handle, so once I get new business cards, that's changing. That handle is changing, so I'm running out of them. So people are not going like, wait, this isn't right. So yeah, I kind of drew myself in a corner there, but that's okay. I'll fix it soon enough. And then of course I have my store, Humphreys Illustrations. They got bigcartel.com, and then my portfolio site stuff.
Sweet.
And I guess that would be my goal for this year, is to start trying to post more on social media. I honestly, it just is dumb. I just forget. I guess I'm caught up making my book and doing stuff that days will pass. I'm like, oh, I haven't posted anything. So I just absolutely forget. Yeah. It's a bad habit of mine. So
so there's one thing I should let you know. There's something called Buffer. It's free to use. I mean, there are paid plans, but Buffer is free, and you can actually go on and schedule post.
Yeah.
Oh, schedule post. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
you can. Yeah, I highly we use that here. So I highly recommend. I mean, you can get other things like Hootsuite and things like that, but I recommend Buffer because it's really easy to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy's Floormoney says, Curtis, I sent you some WIPs. Curtis is running to his messenger now.
Looks like a boy on Christmas morning.
I know.
It is. Please carry on, folks.
Yeah. Very cool. So Curtis, you may have to hold your phone up and show us, right? Look at his eyes.
All right. If you can see it.
Okay. Well, okay. Hold on. Hold.
Just hold still.
Wait.
Moving back.
We're getting it.
Look at that.
There you go.
Great.
Oh, my lighting.
Yeah, but okay, just hold it still. Adjust it.
Just. There we go.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
Yes, you're in there.
I think I just had my first hot flash. This is awesome.
Barb, what about you? Where can folks find you online?
There's my name, Barb. Now how do you spell it? Barb Kaleberg. And you can find me under that name. I'm the only Barb Kaleberg on the internet. So you can find me under Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and DeviantArt under that name. Just Google me. I've got about 25,000 sites.
Kale, like the leafy stuff, but not spelled that way.
No, it's spelled Kaleberg. I don't know why it's pronounced Kaleberg, but it is. Not my married name, so I don't know why they do that.
You just married into it, right?
Yeah, I just married it.
That's what it is.
Pete, what about you? Where can folks find you online?
Peter Clinton Art, and that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, website. Real very simple, with all the same. Peter Clinton Art. Instagram best if you want to contact me. Really.
I see you on there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Roberta, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Roby Conroy, ROBI Conroy. And I have a website, robyconroy.com. And hopefully I will work on that site a little bit more before that gets too far away.
And remember, folks, I will. I won't do this right immediately, but if you can check back in an hour or so, if you're like, hey, man, I didn't have a chance to write down all those links, I will put those in the description on all three of the platforms. So it doesn't matter where you're listening to us. I'll make sure to get you that information with the appropriate links. As long as they've given them to me, I'll have them on there. So you can find me at the same places: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media places, mostly hanging out with the Silverline stuff. Don't forget to if you're listening to us on watching us on YouTube or Twitch, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna work again to try to get our follower count back up. In fact, that's some of the things we're gonna talk about here in the coming weeks. We're gonna probably run some contests to try to get some of our numbers up. So don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Do all that kind of stuff. Help us with that. Tell all your friends about the Silverline streams. Get them on here. I've got a couple of ideas for some really fun streams. It's going to require audience participation. So
Nice.
so yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. So we're gonna need some folks to show up and help us out with that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, all those kind of things. We do have a mailing list that you can sign up for on. You can find the sign up place on Facebook. The wife is working on a Facebook store. So we went through a bunch of the loops today, the hoops today. We actually went down. What's today? Sunday. We actually went down Friday and met with the folks who made our T-shirts, and we're going to see if we can't get them to make us some other things. We're pricing like ball caps. I know that Pete wears a ball cap every week, so we're going to price some ball caps and see what those are going to cost us. And
we really need to sell. I'm just a penciler, or I'm just an inker.
Yeah.
Just inker.
Yeah.
We should trademark those.
Yeah. And don't forget, this is Sunday, and on Wednesday night, our live stream. We made the decision tonight on Wednesday night, the live stream. Those guys are going to launch our next Kickstarter. So get ready for the next Kickstarter. Features Teen Beetle and Switchblade. So until next time. Oh, I turned this around, didn't I?
I got it now. Look.
Yeah. Until next time.
Make
Make mine Silverline. All right. Good night, everybody. Let's see if I can get that going out thing. Where's that at?
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Boom.